We got some gaming wins, some gaming losses, and some games coming out. Let's talk. What up, viewers? What up? What up? Calc Soups here, and today is Friday, February 13th. Ooh, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. Big thing that happened this week was a PlayStation State of Play. Big old showcase that had a bunch of games that you are interested in. I guarantee you there was something for everyone in this week's State of Play because there's more than a half dozen games that I want to talk about. So let's jump right in. We got to see a little bit more gameplay coming out from for 4 Loop. That is the Bad Robot Games, the J.J. Abrams development studio that is making a Left 4 Dead like a co-op 4-player shooter from the lead developer of Left 4 Dead. So we got to see a little bit more of the gameplay. It still seems somewhat generic to me, but still interesting. I'm still somewhat interested in what's going on there. So yeah, that was one of the games that I was that caught my eye. Control Resonant has somewhat won me over. I thought it was just kind of like a Devil May Cry action RPG, and it does look a little bit like that. But the way that you can like the mind bending physics and like the way your weapon changes and your powers, which powers are you using at any given moment, I think actually might lend itself to a pretty unique loop and a pretty fun way to explore outside of the old house. So yeah, Control Resonant. I'm looking forward to that one a little bit more than I was before. I was very hesitant, but this latest trailer and gameplay kind of won me over. There's also a John Wick game, and that's basically all we know about it. For anybody who watched the 3-minute trailer and somehow skipped the last second where it was Keanu Reeves, yeah, it looked and felt like a John Wick game when you were kind of watching through it, but all it was a 3-minute trailer. So we don't know too much about it other than John Wick is coming in a more kind of traditional John Wick form, because there have been previous John Wick games, but in a more looks like, I don't know, third-person action shooter. There you will be able to play as John Wick sometime soon. A sequel to Kenna is coming up. Excited for that one. My wife and I really liked Kenna Bridge of Spirits. So this next one, Scars of Samorza or Samora, looks pretty cool. I'm excited to explore more of that world and dive into it. The Ghost of Yotai Legends, one of my more anticipated games this year. I didn't pick up Ghost of Yotai yet because I knew I was waiting for the co-op 4-player Legends mode, and so now that we have a date on that, March 10th. So in a few short weeks, me and my friends will be various forms of samurai and ninja chopping our way through Yotai. So looking forward to that one. There was a 2D prequel God of War game, which was super awesome for my friends at Megacat. So yeah, very much caught my eye on that one. And it's available now. I should go download it right now and play it, and so should you. Yeah, I looked really cool. Had looked like a kind of a Salt and Sanctuary kind of art style and 2D fighter vibe that I'm pretty excited for. They also had Star Wars Galactic Racer. We get to see all the different racers that we're going to be running around in. It's not just pod racing, but there will be pod racing. But yeah, those are all the games that caught my eye coming out of the Sony State of Play. Let me know if I forgot any down below. I didn't even talk about 007 Hard Light or First Light, 007 First Light, even though I am very excited for that game too. But these were all kind of new, fresh stuff that I'm still very much anticipating. So looking forward to all of those. Let me know if I forgot any down below. Rumors spun up this week, and as you know, the games industry is full of rumors and speculation, almost built on it sometimes. Blizzard, after attempting to make a shooter in the StarCraft universe happen several times, they're passing the buck onto Embark off their recent win with Arc Raiders. I don't know that it's going to be an extraction shooter PvPvE game, but I'm interested to see what a non-Blizzard studio can do with StarCraft to make it, feel like a good shooter. So yeah, and something modern. I know that they just recently rebooted Overwatch, but I would hope that a StarCraft shooter would feel a lot different than that. So if they could do something smaller with a smaller studio that has a smaller budget, make something more double A, even though it's a triple A IP. Yeah, it can be really fun and exciting if this is true. Again, this is all rumors and speculation, so take the idea of this with a grain of salt. We got a game releasing. High on Life 2 is out as of this week, as of today, I believe. And according to its Metacritic score, it's got a 74, which levels it up. I didn't know that the first one reviewed so negatively at 67. The reviews were, saying that it did evolve a little bit, hence the upgrade in its Metacritic, but it's still kind of below where people want it to be. You can play it for 10 to 12 hours. I played the first one, probably 5 or 6 hours of that one, so probably halfway through it, and enjoyed it. So if it's a little bit better than that one, I could see myself playing through a handful of hours in that one too. So High on Life launching today. Let me know if you pick that up and what you think of it. Now on to the bad news. We got two pretty big negative stories this week. The first of which is the studio and developers behind the Riot fighting game 2XKO. After only launching onto console last month, they've been shut down. I think, if I'm reading that rightly. The studio is closed. It sounds like the project is not going to be moving forward. Man, tough luck there. I can't believe that after only a month, they're like writing it off, especially Riot, who feel like you could run on fumes for quite some time. Riot's got all the money in the world and that 10-cent backing. So, I'm very curious to see that, like, even they couldn't kind of break into the fighting genre, I guess, in a way that studio execs want. Maybe that's the problem, was people had too high of an expectation. And the fighting genre is very entrenched. As someone who worked for a Mortal Kombat, a entrenched fighting game, and like trying to figure out where to get more gamers was always hard in the fighting genre, especially. And I've talked about this previously too, like Riot being a very PC focused, like PC is not the strongest portion of the PC. The fighting game genre is underrepresented on PC just because people don't want to play fighting games on a keyboard and mouse. They want to play it with a controller or with a fighting pad. So, pretty tough luck there. I'll have to reach out to my Riot friends to see how they're doing. But very unfortunate. In even more unfortunate news, after a little bit over 2 weeks, and last week, the lead developer saying they only needed a few people to like the game in order to continue to support it. The team behind Highguard is down to a bare minimum. The studio according to the article last week, there's only 6 people in the studio, and now they're on a bare minimum. Like, is it one person? Is there only one person working on Highguard now? They've ended all further development of Highguard and will just be keeping the lights on to potentially recoup losses, I guess. But this is all pretty whiplashy. Like, again, last week the lead developer was saying that they didn't need a high player count. They just needed a few entrenched people who like the game to continue to support it and grow it over time, which is what you got to do with a free game. But I guess they just didn't. Again, execs probably didn't get the numbers they were looking for, and they decided to just turn off the lights. So you can still play Highguard, but you cannot. But there won't be any more content. Which, as someone who was going to talk about it this weekend with my friends, leaves the story pretty closed as far as Highguard is concerned, which is unfortunate. I could have seen it kind of growing over the next year or so into something that people would have loved. There's also fires going on over at Discord. Anybody who uses Discord to talk to friends and coworkers and any other community they wish to engage with, it's probably being done on Discord, but Discord is deciding to burn it all down with their whole age verification disaster. So Discord was informing users that this week that they're going to have to upload pictures of themselves so that they can verify that they are not underage. And everybody kind of at the rigmarole of what that would take to kind of do. People started asking the question, can we communicate some other way? Because Discord wants to burn it all down. I don't know where this policy is coming from. I don't know if it's like a HIPAA thing or something like that, but Copa, that's what I'm thinking of. The acronym I'm thinking of. Yeah, Discord blowing up this week is definitely got got the world, set the world on fire, as again the main way of like maintaining a community is typically done through a Discord server. I even remember when like Discord was looking to be integrated into YouTube, and then like YouTube videos were like, there was a whole plan that like YouTube videos were just going to link straight to a Discord and not even have a chat section that you can comment under it. So yeah, Discord is definitely burning down their high reputation this week with this whole age verification debacle. Moving on to some fun news. If you haven't gotten any of the Resident Evil games or want to rebuy them to play them on PC, you can buy all of them except for the upcoming Resident Evil Requiem. You can buy all 9 games on Steam for $40. Pretty sweet deal. I own some of them, but I might still buy all of them on PC just so that I have them all in one place. And you'll be able to play Resident Evil 0 all the way up to Resident Evil 8 Biohazard. Or no, Biohazard was 7. Village was 8. So yeah, if you want to get all the Resident Evil games just in time for Valentine's Day, for you to be scared out of your wits with your significant other, you can pick up Resident Evil on PC, on Steam, for $40. More games launching. We got Tazier, from the developers of Little Nightmares, released a new game. They have Reanimal that released this week, has an 80 Metacritic, which is about where all the other previous Little Nightmares games have been. Again, they didn't do Little Nightmares 3, that was a different team. But Little Nightmares 1 and 2 were all kind of in the high 70s, low 80s Metacritic wise. And all the reviews were saying that like this is the same quality game, it just has a different name and it's set in a different place. So I looked at it, it looks pretty cool. It looks exactly like Little Nightmares, but it just isn't. So pretty interesting stuff there. Let me know if you pick up Reanimal and what you think of it down below. Another game that caught my eye that also launched this week is called Relooted, but I'm calling it the Reverse Indiana, because you are taking like it's a puzzle game where you take culturally significant objects from a museum, and you have to figure out how to get out of a museum and break in, and it's kind of like Ocean's 11, except for you're doing it for a just cause and like trying to get cultural artifacts back to out of museums and back to their cultures. So pretty cool game. One that I've kept on my eye since it was last in I think it was in a Day of the what are they called? Day of the Devs. It was on a Day of the Devs stream a little while back. So excited for Relooted launching this week. Last but not least, besides being 2 different people in the MCU, or not, in the DC universe, Jason Momoa is starting to rack up a pretty hefty video game movie adaptation resume. He was again in Minecraft last year. He's got Street Fighter coming out this year, and now we've got confirmation this week that he'll be working on a upcoming Helldivers movie, written or directed by the developer of directed by the director of Fast X. So pretty action-oriented director Justin Lin. Yeah, I didn't know that they were working. I thought Helldivers they kind of like wrote off. They didn't want to do any adaptations, but pretty exciting stuff that a Helldivers movie is being worked on, and Jason Momoa is going to be part of it. So I think it's going to be fun, and we got to see after 30 years what Starship Troopers is going to look like when it's even more parody than it already was, and now includes Jason Momoa. So pretty interesting stuff there. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I missed anything down below in the comments. But as always, thanks for watching. I hope you have a super day. I hope you have a super weekend. And I hope you have a super day. Bye!